Students, now we will see your ADC, that is the analog to digital converter. So under analog to digital converter, the first converter what we are going to see is your successive approximation ADC. So in a successive approximation ADC, what we are going to do is your ADC is nothing but it is going to accept an analog input voltage and it is going to produce a binary output word there. So where the binary output word is going to consist of D1, D2 and Dn bits there, and which is going to be a functional value of this capital D. So I can write the digital word to be as D1 into 2 power minus 1 plus D2 into 2 power minus 2 till Dn into 2 power minus n. So here D1 is going to be the most significant bit and Dn is going to be the least significant bit. So here in your ADC we have two additional control lines. One is the start input to tell the ADC when to start the conversion process, and the second input output is going to be your end of conversion. Second control line is the end of conversion signal there, that is an output. So once my ADC completes a conversion process, it should inform the external device that the conversion is over, and we can see the output there. So for that we are going to use the control line, your end of conversion signal there. So here, depending upon the type of application, your ADCs are going to be designed for your microprocessor interfacing or to directly drive your LCDs or LED displays. So here this is your basic ADC where you are going to have your analog input is going to be given to the ADC, and we are going to have the reference voltage, your VR, and we are going to at the output we are going to have the digital output where we are going to have the MSB bit here D1, and this is your DN, the LSB bit. So here we are going to have two additional control lines where start is going to be the input control line and end of conversion is going to be the output control line. So basically ADCs are going to be classified broadly into two groups. So according to the conversion technique there. So one is direct type ADC and the other one is integrating type ADCs. So in direct type ADCs, what we are going to do is we are going to compare a given analog signal with the internally generated equivalent signal there. So here directly we are going to compare your analog signal with the internally generated equivalent signal, that is direct type ADCs. In integrating type ADCs, what we are going to do is we are going to perform the conversion in an indirect manner there. So how we are going to do is, first we are going to change the analog input signal to a linear function of time or frequency, and then we are going to convert it to a digital code. So now we will see your direct type ADC, that is your successive approximation ADC. So in a successive approximation ADC, you are going to have an 8-bit successive approximation register and your 8-bit DAC. So now we are going to consider an 8-bit ADC. So that means that the successive approximation register what I am going to use should be of 8 bits. So it is an 8-bit successive approximation register there. So to this successive approximation register we are going to have two inputs. One is the clock signal, the other one is going to be the serial data input. So this serial data input is going to come from the comparator output there. So here your comparator output is going to compare your analog input signal with the analog output voltage there. So this analog output voltage is going to be got from the 8-bit DAC there, where the digital signal will be converted to analog signal, and that analog signal will be compared with the input analog signal there. And now here we are going to have an 8-bit latch. So the 8-bit latch is going to be used to couple the outputs from the successive approximation register to the digital output there. So here this latch is going to be enabled by this enable signal. And we are going to have three signals. One is your D0. D0 is going to be the serial data out. So once the conversion is over, your conversion complete signal is activated, which means that it will enable this latch. So once this conversion complete signal comes, it will enable the latch, and whatever is going to be the input I am going to have here, I will be getting it at the output, that is your digital data output. And the digital data output can be got in serial form, that is your serial data out. So here for your successive approximation register, we need the start signal there. So the start signal is going to be done by this start signal here. So here a successive approximation register operation we will see. So here in this case, suppose this is my input signal. So my input signal, I am going to take this input signal to be here 5. Okay, so if it is going to be 5 or 5.2, I will take as my input signal there. So first what my process will do is, my ADC will give the start signal there. So once my ADC gives the start signal, the successive approximation starts the procedure there. So what it will do is, the Q7 bit will be set first. So when Q7 bit is going to be set first, in that case we are going to see that we are going to have the output to be maximum. So here when the output is going to be maximum, it is going to be when Q7 is going to be maximum, it is d power 1 divided by 2 power 8. So in that case you are going to have the maximum value. So the maximum value, if I am going to assume that it is going to be 255, here in this case we will have it as your 256. So this bit will be 1 and this is going to be 0 there. So that means that your 8 bits, 8 bit is nothing but, see here you are going to have 1, 0, 0, 0, this is 0, 0, 0 and 0. When the first clock pulse is going to be sent to this successive approximation register, what happens is, at the rising edge, you are going to have the Q7 bit to be set. That means your B7 bit is going to be set. So when the B7 bit is going to be set, I should know what is going to be the equivalent value there. So the equivalent value in this case is going to be, this is your 2 power 0, it is your 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. So 2 power 0 is nothing but 1, so 2 power 7 is nothing but 128. So when B7 bit is going to be there, my output is going to be here 128 there. So when it is going to be 128, this 128 analog voltage is going to be compared with this 5.2 analog signal there. So since we know that the voltage at the non-inverting terminal minus your voltage at the inverting terminal there. So in this case your 128 is going to be greater. So we can see that your output is nothing but your voltage at the non-inverting terminal is Vin. And the voltage at the inverting terminal is going to be VA. So this is your output of the comparator. So this is nothing but your output of the comparator there. Now I can see that my Vin is going to be less than VA. That means my comparator output is going to be 0. When the comparator output is going to be 0, this bit will be reset and it will go for the next bit to be set for the next clock pulse there. So when the next clock pulse is going to come, it is going to compare there. Now the B7 bit is going to be 0 and the B6 bit is going to be 1. So when B6 bit is going to be 1, it is nothing but 2 power 6. So 2 power 6 is going to be here, in this case 64. So now 64 will be compared with this 5.2. Again we see that this output of the comparator is going to be 0. When the output of the comparator is 0, this bit will be reset and it will go for the next bit. So now this bit will become 0 and this next bit will become 1. So when the next bit becomes 1, now it is your 2 power 6 is over. Now 2 power 5, that is nothing but 32 is going to be there. Now 32 is going to be compared with your 5.2. So I'll have this as, okay, I'll have it as your 15.2 there. Now 32 is going to be compared with your 15.2 there. So in that case also your output is going to be 0. So when output is going to be 0, this particular bit will be set as 0 and the next bit it will go as 1. So that means that now this is 7, your 6th bit, this is your 5th bit, this is your 4th bit. So when 2 power 4 is going to be there, that is your 16. So 16 is going to be compared with 15.2. Again 16 is greater. So when 16 is going to be greater, I will have the comparator output to be your 0 there. When the comparator output is going to be 0, for the next clock pulse, this will become 0 and the next bit will become 1. So that means that this will become 0 and the next bit will become 1 there. That is your 3. So 3 means it is your 2 power 3, 8. So here I can see that my 8 is going to be less than 15.2. So here in this case, this is 15.2 minus 8. So that means that it is a positive value. So when it is a positive value, my output is going to be here 1. So when this output is going to be 1, this bit will be retained as such and I will go for the next bit there. So when the next bit is going to be there, the next bit is going to be set. That is nothing but 2 power 2. So here this is 8. 8 plus 2 power 2 is going to be here 4. So that is going to be 12. So now I will be having the value to be here 12 there. So here when I am going to have 12, the 12 is going to be greater than, again 12 is less than 15.2. Now 15.2 will be compared with 12. So here in this case my analog input voltage is going to be greater. That means my comparator output will be 1. So when it is going to be 1, this bit will be set as such and I will go for the next bit there. So when I go to the next bit, it is going to be 2 power 1. So 2 power 1 means it is going to be here 2. So that means 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus here 2 is going to be 14 there. So in that case, you are going to have the value to be now 14. So here you are going to have the value to be 14. So when I am going to have 14, this 14 is going to be 15.2 minus 14. Again my output in analog voltage is going to be greater. If my analog voltage is going to be greater, the comparator output will be 1. So when the comparator output is going to be 1, I am going to have the clock bit to be set as such for the next clock pulse and I will go for the next bit there. That is going to be 1. That is your 2 power 0. 2 power 0 is going to be 1. Now 14 plus 1 is going to be 15. So 15 means it is almost near to that of 15.2. So in that also a comparator output will be 1. So when the comparator output is 1, you are going to have the bit to be as such and 8 clock pulses are over. If it is an 8-bit successive approximation ADC, only 8 clock pulses will be sent. Once at the end of the 8 clock pulses, what will happen is your conversion complete signal will be sent. Once the conversion complete signal has been sent, whatever is going to be the data I am going to have, that data will be got at the output there. So that means that the data here will be 1, 1, 1 and remaining all bits will be here 0. So that means that I will be getting the digital output like this there. So your digital output, this digital output will also be got as a serial form there. So serial form is your 1, 1, 1, 1. You are going to have your 4 zeros there. So once your conversion is over, your conversion complete is going to be there. Once this conversion complete comes, automatically whatever data is going to be present here, all those data will be transferred through the latch to the digital output there. And at the same time, we will be having a serial data output. And this conversion complete signal will be tied to the start pin there. So when it is going to be connected to the start pin, all these data will be resetted there for the next conversion process. So this is how we are going to operate. Just one thing what we have to remember is when Vin is going to be greater than your VA, we are going to leave the bit as such and go for the next bit there. If Vin is less than VA, reset that particular bit. So that is the concept what we are going to use in your successive approximation ADC there. So here we say that your analog output of the VA of the D2A converter is going to be compared with the analog input signal Vin by the comparator. So output of the converter is going to be a serial data input to the SAR there. That is your successive approximation register. So the successive approximation register will adjust the digital input until it is equivalent to the analog input Vin there. So the 8-bit latch at the end of the conversion holds the resultant into the digital data output. So at the start of the conversion, the SAR is going to be reset by holding the start signal high. So on the first clock pulse, your low to high transition, the MSB output bit of the Q7 of the SAR is going to be set. The first MSB bit will be set and the D2A converter will convert this digital voltage to your digital signal to your analog voltage there. And then it is going to be compared with the Vin. When VA is going to be, the analog voltage is going to be greater than Vin, your comparator output is low. If the comparator output is going to be low, your SAR will clear that particular MSB bit Q7. If my VA is going to be less than Vin, your comparator output is going to be high. So if the comparator output is going to be high, my SAR will leave that MSB bit as such and go for the next bit there. So on the next clock pulse, low to high transition, the SAR will set the next MSB Q6 bit. So depending upon the output of the comparator, the SAR will then either keep or reset the bit Q6. This process is going to be continued until the SAR tries all the bits. As soon as the LSB Q0 is tried, the SAR will force the conversion complete signal high. So here in this case, it will indicate that the parallel output lines contain the valid data and the conversion complete will in turn enable the latch. So here the digital data will appear at the output of the latch and can also be available serially there. So to cycle this process continuously, your conversion complete signal is going to be tied to the start input. So the advantage of this method is, here we have high speed, excellent resolution can be got, and at the same time for an 8-bit successive approximation ADC, it requires only 8 clock pulses there. Thank you.